Let me say something that would have been impossible 10 years ago. Nobody is afraid of Brazil anymore. And deep down, Brazilian fans know it. Think about it. There was a time when seeing Brazil on the schedule terrified opponents. Pelé, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Kaká, Neymar. Generations of players who made the famous yellow jersey feel absolutely untouchable to the rest. But now, something has changed. At the World Cup, Brazil opened with a disappointing 1-1 draw against Morocco. And the reaction wasn't shock. The reaction was, yeah, that sounds about right. And that is the real problem here. The fear factor is gone. And that is a massive issue for a country that built its identity on being football's ultimate superpower. Now, before Brazil fans attack me in the comments, let us look closely at the facts and the historical data. When was the last time Brazil truly dominated a World Cup? Not competed, but truly dominated the entire tournament. You could argue 2002. That is over 2 decades ago. Since then, it has been quarterfinal exits and heartbreak. And of course, the 7-1 humiliation against Germany. A result that still haunts Brazilian football and its fans today. The scary part? The rest of the world stopped seeing Brazil as unbeatable after that night. Every team believes they can win, and belief changes everything. Look at Morocco, a team that showed absolutely no fear when playing against the South American giants. Why? Because modern football has changed. The gap between global giants and traditional underdogs is smaller than it has ever been. Brazil hasn't adapted as quickly as their rivals. Now let us talk about Vinicius Jr., who carries impossible nationwide expectations. Brazil doesn't just want a superstar. They want the next Neymar, the next Ronaldo, or the next legendary Pelé. That is not just pressure, that is a mountain. And while Vinicius is world-class, can he carry an entire nation's hopes? We are about to find out. I think Brazil's biggest problem isn't talent at all. It is their footballing identity. What is Brazil today? Are they possession-based, counter-attacking, defensive, or just built around individual moments of brilliance? Nobody seems to know. Compare that to Spain or France, where everyone knows their exact strengths and system. Even Argentina has a clear identity, but Brazil? Sometimes they look incredible, other times they look completely lost out there. That inconsistency is dangerous in a World Cup, because World Cups don't reward potential. They reward execution and tactical discipline. Now here is my hottest take. Brazil might not even be the most feared team in South America anymore. Argentina are the defending world champions. They are winning, confident, and know exactly who they are on the pitch. That is why this tournament feels so important. It is about restoring the respect and aura that made Brazil intimidating. Is Brazil still a true World Cup favorite? Or have they lost their fear factor forever? Comment below and subscribe. To understand how Brazil lost its aura, we must look at how the global football landscape shifted over the last decade. European clubs began scouting South American talent earlier than ever, importing teenage prodigies before they could mature in Brazil. This mass migration stripped the domestic league of its unique style, replacing local flair with rigid, structured European tactics. Think about stars like Vinicius, Rodrigo, or Endrick. They grew up in European systems, not the traditional street football culture. While this makes them tactically disciplined, it also dilutes the unpredictable, joyful magic that defined past Brazilian generations. The legendary Joga Bonito, play beautifully, has been replaced by high-pressing, physical transition play, and data-driven formations. But it is not just about how the players develop. The managerial instability at the top has been absolute chaos. For months, the Brazilian Federation chased Carlo Ancelotti, leaving the national team with interim coaches and no clear plan. When Ancelotti rejected them to stay at Real Madrid, it exposed a shocking lack of leadership and strategic vision. Door rival Jadonir stepped in, but rebuilding a shattered identity takes years, a luxury the Seleção simply does not have. Meanwhile, their fiercest rivals have capitalized on this vulnerability, building stable projects that dominate the international stage. Argentina created a cohesive unit around Lionel Messi, combining tactical discipline with a fierce, unbreakable collective spirit. France boasts a terrifying assembly of physical and technical power, led by Kylian Mbappé, ready to conquer any opponent. And Spain has perfected their high-intensity, fluid passing game, showing a clear collective identity that Brazil currently lacks. When you look at these giants, you see a plan. When you look at Brazil, you see individual moments. This reliance on individual brilliance makes them predictable. Opponents know if they stop Vinicius, they stop Brazil. During their golden eras, defending against them was impossible because threat came from every single angle on the pitch. In 2002, if you stopped Ronaldo, Rivaldo punished you. If you closed down Rivaldo, Ronaldinho found the space. Today, the supporting cast lacks that world-class lethal edge, leaving their star players isolated and easily frustrated. This frustration often boils over on the pitch, leading to tactical indiscipline and costly mental mistakes in crucial moments. The yellow shirt, once a source of infinite pride and power, now feels like an incredibly heavy burden. Every young Brazilian forward is immediately compared to Pelé or Ronaldo, creating expectations that are impossible to fulfill. To rebuild their fear factor, Brazil must first accept that their historical reputation alone will no longer win matches. They need a modern tactical revolution that respects their creative roots while matching the physical intensity of Europe. If they fail to adapt, the 5 stars on their chest will become a relic of history rather than a warning. The path forward requires redefining their identity on the pitch. What does it mean to play like Brazil today? Is it possession, counter-attacking, or pure individual brilliance? Right now, not even the players seem to know their style. Compare that to rivals like Spain or France, who have established systems that every player executes with absolute precision. Even Argentina has a clear identity, leaving Brazil as the only giant, still desperately searching for their footballing soul. This tactical confusion breeds dangerous inconsistency, a fatal flaw in a tournament that demands flawless execution, not just potential. Perhaps the most painful truth is that Argentina has replaced them as the ultimate powerhouse of South American football. While Argentina wins with supreme confidence, Brazil is left trying to figure out how to restore their lost aura. The upcoming World Cup is about far more than lifting a trophy. It is about reclaiming their global respect. They must make opponents dread the sight of the yellow jersey once again, rebuilding the fear that once ruled. Because currently, the world does not fear them. Other nations hope to face them, sensing a vulnerable giant. For a proud footballing nation, that hope from rivals is the ultimate insult and a very bitter reality. So, is Brazil still a genuine World Cup favorite, or has their legendary fear factor vanished forever? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more deep football analysis and World Cup predictions.